Okay, welcome to the Bears first live feed. Just a few things to discuss. Basically, may as well just clear the air about the video that obviously so many of you have seen now. That was absolutely the last thing I ever wanted to put on my channel. The reasons why I did so are in that video, but that's basically, I want to close that off now, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the Bear's up to, what the Bear wants to do. Now, it sort of comes in a sort of way, it's just on top of what happened. And I was going to do this anyways. I was going to make an announcement, a channel announcement, because this was formerly Bear Hobbies when I had a shop. Now it's the Bear, which is my persona. And as you can see from the intro, it's always been a armor channel, and that's been sort of my bread and butter. So I've got all different things on the desk here that I'm going to talk to you about. So really, this is really my bread and butter, main battle tanks, modern main battle tanks. It's what I've been doing. It's what I really like to do. And you see that the channel's basically dominated by armor builds. But I want to move this up a notch. I'm going to try and diversify things because obviously I do have other interests outside of armor, including science fiction, which I've built many of the Bandai models. I've weathered them. I've really enjoyed them. And why not add that genre to the channel? Because they're interesting to build. The weathering possibilities are up there as well. So we may be seeing some of this in upcoming builds. The other area that I definitely want to look at, and it's something I've never done before, are stuff like this, which is like in this fantasy realm. And I certainly want to explore building something like this as an experience of learning it and showing it to you guys. That's really what I would like to do. So that's the sort of the new sort of take that the Bear's going to have. There's going to be a diversification. I'm probably going to even change the banner and open up quite a lot of the genres. The reason I was on armor builds most of the time also had a lot to do with my location as well, because I was moving around quite a lot, and tanks are actually quite a lot easier to move around and build, remotely. So when you're moving around, they're a bit more durable, if you know what I mean. So that's probably the next subject we're going to discuss is my other main genre outside of armor is actually aircraft. And I've got one build video. My most successful video is actually. Oh, thank you, Mike. And also, yeah, about the science fiction, definitely. Yeah, that's pretty cool to see that would be something popular. Now, the thing with aircraft is, I have one aircraft video up, and that's the Tornado, and I haven't done one since that build for such a long time because of, again, moving around. So I'm gonna show you the sort of stuff that we may well be up and coming, or like modern jets. It's something that I really do like, building modern jets, and I just haven't put many of them on at all really on the channel. So not only do I want to show you how to build one of these kits, one of these plastic kits, but I'm going to show you some bits that I've just had a recent delivery, and I'm going to show you what my intentions are, because building something out of the box isn't really that exciting to me. This is out of the box, and it's a pretty simple build. But at the same time, I like to make something a bit more complex. I want the build to be a little bit more complex, and also I want to show you guys basically how to do it, because the genres expand when you've got conversion kits, when you've got resin kits, and I haven't seen many. I'm sure there is some videos, but I haven't seen many people, approaching stuff like resin conversions, full resin kits, and stuff that, it might. I can remember when I started doing full resin kits, about 12 years ago. I didn't know how to do them, so that could be quite a good topic. And also, I'm just going to quickly talk about this as well, because when all those events unfolded, this video was meant to go up, and it was meant to be the second part of this King Tiger. And there was two reasons why that video didn't go ahead. The first one, obviously, was because of the time that was taken in what happened, with AK Interactive, and really the fallout of that. There was comments, such as, well, if you build a German tank, you're basically the same as what they're doing, and it actually made me stop and think a little bit about even this genre here, this Panzer 46 sort of genre, because I regarded it previously as science fiction type genre because it just didn't exist. So I thought it was kind of interesting, kind of cool to make something that was outside of the normal realm. But I started thinking about what that might represent to some people. But it's only fair that I finish this build off, and I'm not going to say I'm not going to do German armor again. I certainly will, but I'll finish this off. So there'll be a normal video up next time. It's just fallen behind. That's really what's happened. So we will get on with that. But yeah, it made me think. It made me think about a lot of things because there was so many comments coming in. You have to reconsider. There has to be a reevaluation, really, to some extent, especially because of a lot of people are thinking now a little bit deeper about the hobby. It's part of the fallout, but hopefully we don't need to discuss that anymore. So it's going to open up some things. I'm going to definitely. Oh, okay, right. Jeff says, "Love your channel. Have you seen Lou Dalmasso?" Well, I'm certainly going to have a look for him because I want to explore that. I want to learn that with you guys. And this kit, basically, this one here, I picked this one up in Korea, and I got a massive discount on it from Benny, who is obviously who runs Knots Planet. And when I saw this, I wanted this for so many years. And when I saw the build of it, if you have a look at my video of Korea, you'll see many pictures of this built up. And I really wanted to have this. And I'm going to get a few more of these. Basically, I'm probably going to be making a trip to England pretty soon. And if I know I have to, so my intentions are to order some stuff from Hysterex Agents or another outlet and get a few more bits and pieces like this that are, different. They're totally different to what I usually do. So that's definitely going to happen. What's stopping me at the moment is I'm in a very small room at the moment, and we're having some work done. So I'm going to have more or less a large studio to work from. So when I've got that studio, I've got the possibilities to do dioramas. I can talk you through some of my previous dioramas, and it allows a lot more stuff to be done because I have been sort of limited in just showing certain builds. Now, the other thing we talked about, there's a video that I did about Tamiya, and some people, they didn't get what I was saying, where it wasn't a critique of Tamiya being bad or poor. It was, I wanted to see something more from them. Now, when I talked about the aircraft kits, I said that they're first rate, and I'm going to stand by that. I think they're really great kits. And also, they're really easy to build as well. So, this kit here, the Spitfire, it's been done to death on YouTube. You'll see builds of it all over the place. Thoroughly recommended. There's no point even doing a review on this because everybody knows it's a great kit. But that comes me on the next point, is that I've been investing in stuff that maybe is going to make those builds a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to sort of go through some of the stuff And because it's my first live feed, I don't know if the quality is good enough. So I'm going to review the footage and see if it's good enough for reviews. And if it is, I can keep on doing reviews like this. But the first one I was to look at was, this is the Big Sin kit from Eduard. Eduard Brassin is, well, you know Eduard's the aftermarket manufacturer from Czechoslovakia. Now, they make their own plastic kits, and they also do loads of upgrades in resin, in photo etch. So not only, so it's sort of strange because that Tamiya kit is, it's fantastic. It really is. You can build it out of the box and it looks superb. It really does. But, and this is sort of interesting because it isn't cheap. But if I have all this resin stuff, that's going to make the build more interesting for myself. In that, I mean, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to take a little bit of more work to build the resin parts, to separate them off, and I can show you all the aspects of how we do that. So I can show you how we convert a plastic kit to have a resin cockpit. And I think there's one guy who's sort of showing you how to do that. But for me, that would be something that's of value to somebody who is looking at doing some conversion work, or maybe you just want to know, and this is a really valid one, what is the point in buying something like this? Because they are expensive. Is it worth getting one of these resin aftermarket kits, or is the plastic sufficient? So maybe we can sort of answer those questions, and we can do a little bit of a critique. And I'm just going to show you what you get. And it's just basically bags of resin bits and pieces. Now they're all really nicely cast. And what I'm intending to do is build the plastic cockpit for the Spitfire and put it alongside these resin parts. And that way you can, and I'll paint them up as well. But then you straight away, you're going to know, I mean, is it worth it? Is this worth it? For me, I got this. Would I have got this resin cockpit? I didn't. I would not have purchased it, except for the fact of I thought, that's a bit challenging. It would be a bit more interesting to try and show that. And if the viewpoint is, wow, that really, really adds loads more detail. Or maybe the converse, which is, you know what? That guy, he blew, $35 on this resin stuff. And, there's no difference between the plastic. So it's going to be an experiment. You get some other bits and pieces, like the resin exhaust stacks as well. And then you get this photo etch detail. Now, photo etch detail this is the usual Eduard add-ons to kits. But why don't I build up the plastic console as well, paint them up, and just put them side by side, and that way you sort of you get an appreciation. Is it worth it? Now, for me as well, the other thing is I really enjoy adding on all these details. I get a sort of sick pleasure out of actually having some complexity to the build. So, all this like photo etch stuff, I can show you how you remove it from the frets, how you deal with painting it, how you assemble it, how to use the super glues. So I think there's going to be some worthwhile stuff, because really, if I just show you how to build this Spitfire, if I just show you how this goes together and everybody else does it, I don't think you're going to get anything out of it, because it's really, really easy. I think, well, привет. I've got a Russian viewer, which is pretty cool, because I am actually in Russia, guys, if you didn't know that. So that's one of the ideas for the channel. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover resin stuff. In addition, and I'm sort of keeping this a bit of a surprise, I've got like full resin kits as well to build, and that's going to be something else to look at. Now, on top of that, I've got some, for the Spitfire again, I've got some masks as well. And these are, I haven't got one of these cool cutting out devices. So what I've got is, it's the first time I've used masks before, but I've never used one really of significance, you know, like a big set. So I've got the mask set to use on the aircraft, so I can show you during the painting stage how to use masks. And again, we might even compare them with the stickers. I'm going to call them stickers or decals or decals, whatever you guys want to call them. So that might be something of interest. But also the reason I got this, and let's not make any bones about it, the decals that are included in the Tamiya sets, they're great. I mean, they really got good color, but they're thick and they are difficult. They're not difficult to work with because they stick down really great, but they're also thick, so they stick out from the model. So we're going to look at them. On top of that, I've got a stack of aftermarket stuff again. Now, this is going to go into other builds, but I'm gonna do the same sort of thing with these. I'm gonna basically give you the cost comparison between a plastic one, which some kits include them, but the main reason I've got these is that I'm going to be building not the latest and greatest F-18. I'll be building the old school Hasegawa one. And if anybody knows the Hasegawa kits, they are devoid of weapons and armament. So if I do a build, and I typically tend to do this, I don't use what's inside the box. I prefer to research the aircraft, get all the markings correct, and also I like to load them up with the correct weapons. Not the, you know, see people that absolutely fill them full of bombs, but they're pretty mission orientated. So that's the reason I've got these. I have used these before, but that's anti-radiation missile, and these are the cluster bombs. So we'll be using them on future builds. And then I've also got a stack of other stuff as well. All this stuff came from in Russia. It's a little bit difficult to get stuff for that's not orientated towards the Russian market, let's say that. So I've ordered all this stuff from Cyprus, from a company called the 48th or something, I can't remember. But I got all stuff for the Tamiya's F-14s, and I ordered them sort of randomly, really, because once again with the Tamiya F-14, you can see loads of builds on the internet. But if I want to make it more interesting for you guys, and for myself as well, I mean, it's obviously for myself, why don't I review some of these add-ons, because they're not cheap. And are they of benefit? You know, I mean, even stuff like this, masks just for that area. That's all it's for, just for the flapperons on the F-14. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? I sort of bought stuff at random. I've got stuff for. I haven't even opened this up. This came quite recently. All this package. Just need to check out and see what it is. All sorts of weird stuff. Like that there, that is tiny, isn't it? It's the Alpha probe for the F-14. Tiny little detail. Is it worth it? Again, compare it to the plastic part, or even better, can you make your own? I mean, is that really an advantage, or is it easy to fit? Is that going to last? I've used a few. I've used this sort of stuff before. I like adding stuff to supplement my builds because it makes it more interesting. I've got some Hornet wheels there. Again, are these good? Are they worth it? Do they fit on well? Are they going to benefit the kit? And I've got some for an A6 as well, so we can actually do sort of comparisons like this. We can compare different aftermarket stuff and see, well, you know, that stuff's okay, this is better molded, is it worth it? Just open it up a bit. I'm definitely going to be, this is Aerobonus and Airres, the same company, again produce resin accessories. And I thought this might be quite a good project. This is an escape pack ejector seat, and it's got the pilot molded into the seat. Now, for me, I've done a few aircraft figures before, so why don't we just do a full tutorial on painting that figure in situ in the resin seat? That would be, again, something that's a little bit different. I think it's going to be worthwhile. That's the idea, anyways. You know, to open up stuff that's is a bit unique that other channels aren't showing. And I'm really interested to know your thoughts on it. What, in particular, what genre sort of appeals to you? I mean, is it these sort of battle tanks, or is it doing aircraft and add on detail? I don't really know. I mean, for me, I want to move back now. That's why I said all this announcement. Oh, thanks. Thank you very much for the Spasiba большое, Atiru. He just said that he liked the ZIL fire truck, which you can check out the build. That's an excellent kit. It really is. And I'm gonna show you something about that as well. We're definitely going to be doing. This is something I waited for. This really, really made me happy. This is OA for Mike update kit. So what it does, and I wanted this for absolutely ages. It takes the TA4J, which is like the two-seat trainer, and it turns into the Marine Corps forward control aircraft. And this is not like a straightforward, like all this stuff is basically bolt on. It's really easy to use, yeah. And I'll show you how easy it is to use. But adding resin parts onto plastic aircraft, you have to get stuff really tight. So inside here, you have to deal with removing all this stuff, like the cast plugs properly, and then getting them really nicely aligned to the actual airframe of the aircraft. In addition to that, you've got two seamless air intakes here. And I'm going to show you something here. These are really, really... This is what I'm concerned about, if I can show you the quality of these. But the reason you get these is the detail, the tightness is really, really good. You can see there's a little bit of damage to these. And that's not a criticism. To me, that's something that happens with resin. But I would rather have nice, thin, in profile air intakes. And that just takes a bit of super glue to repair. So I'll show you how to do that, how to go through a full conversion of an aircraft. Which I think there's one guy I've seen, he's, really good with his aircraft, and he shows you how to do stuff like that. But I'm good. Instead of I'm guilty of it myself. When I started my video on my channels, I just copied everybody else. I did this sort of music and here's the build. But I don't think that's really serving the purpose of actually telling you guys how you do it, or we don't get a question answer type scenario going. So if I run through a tutorial on how to convert an aircraft, and it won't be like a 30-minute rolled up sort of, here's the kit, snip, 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 here, and then all of a sudden it's together and you're painting it. I'll detail that and I'll tell you exactly. Now, there's one guy I really, really like on YouTube. If you like aircraft stuff, check out Primed Model Works. Now, this guy, I think he's just like the best aircraft model on YouTube because he's full of tips and advice. And I try and do that with my Arma. I try and show you some tips and stuff, but Arma's pretty easy. Aircraft is a little bit different. So that's my intentions. Now, I think I basically emptied, I've emptied out the stuff. One other thing to show you, because it goes back to, this is the other thing we're going to have a look at as well. We're going to have a look at, well, these are all Def model. Don't worry, there's going to be some other manufacturers coming as well. But in addition to the aircraft add-ons, I'll be doing a comparison between what you get inside, the box in a plastic kit, and these resin aftermarket wheels. Again, are they worth it? Are they really good? How do you use them? Do they add a lot of detail on? Or are they, a little bit too expensive? Really, is there no real benefit? And it's sort of ironic. Here's the ZIL 131 set that I was going to use with the AC40 with the Chernobyl fire engine. It came too late. Well, that only means one thing. I need to build another ZIL. Now, if you have a look at, there's one of my videos, I've got a video of me in Russia when we go to Dacha, and there's some beautiful old trucks. And that is definitely another genre that we're going to look at. We're going to be doing a bit more civilian orientated stuff. So that basically concludes it. You can sort of see it. It's not like a flex about showing you all the stuff I bought, but I'm opening up some ideas on what is going to basically be interesting in terms of tutorials. I'm trying to think there's something else, but there is some diorama stuff we're going to be looking at, certainly. But I think that's it for now. So that's sort of my channel announcement. I'm going to do another one pretty soon. And it's going to be about like the workspace, and the other, like big piece of news is that I'm going to be hopefully receiving a silent compressor, because I'm just going to show you basically this, like you can see this bench area. I'm going to show you quickly like what the problem is that I'm in a very confined area at the moment. This is my workspace here, and it stopped me before they were doing the renovation work in what's going to be the studio. I was able to paint in there. Now I can't paint. So until that happens, I'm sort of in this halfway house. So we're going to finish off the King Tiger, and then we're probably going to do a very detailed build, probably something really big. And then you've got like now a precursor to what's going to open up next. And it's either going to be, I'm going to probably put it up to a poll, to be honest, to see, what would be the most interesting thing, what would be the most interesting aspect for you guys to see. So it's probably going to be the OA4 mic, which I'm going to do anyways, let's face it, the science fiction build, and maybe some others as well. Maybe just, also, I will put up an Arma kit because, people do like Arma builds. So thanks a lot for joining me as well. And also remember that the purpose of this channel is it's a community thing. So I really appreciate it when not that I get compliments, but when people ask me questions on how to do. There we go. Skyhawk build would be interesting. Yeah. I think it will be. I really think it will be, because the other thing about this kit, it's old. It's really old kit, but I'm a massive Skyhawk like freak. I love it. I built 2 of the 48 scales, and I built a 32 scale one. And I'll probably tell you a bit about them once I've opened up all my display cases and bits and pieces. But thanks a lot, guys, for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to review the footage and see if it's good enough for continuing this, because if there's enough detail and clarity, I'll do some proper reviews where you can see the parts. And yeah, definitely, it's definitely that. Yeah, just GB's commented. It might be old, but it's still the best one on the market. I think, yeah. The only other one is Hobby Boss, and it looks like Hobby Boss just copied exactly the Hasegawa one. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad to hear that. It's interesting to see that. I think aircraft are somehow they have more of a following than armor. But my idea, like I said, not just armor now. It's going to be aircraft. It's going to be science fiction. It's going to be figures. There's going to be different genres open up, and it's going to be a mix. So the whole, the bear thing with the armor banner, that's going to go, and we're going to mix it up a bit, and we're going to make it a lot more open. Oh, there we go. There was somebody's done the Hobby Boss one, so that's pretty interesting. So it'll be pretty cool when I do that. When I do that for Mike, I can get some feedback on what that kit was like, because I was thinking about buying one, and I know the Hasegawa one, so I've never shied away from it. I like the old Hasegawa kits, the F-18s, the A4s. I probably even have to get an F4G Phantom, because I've been waiting, like I mentioned before in the Tamiya video, been waiting forever for somebody to bring out a new tool, F4 Elate or F4G Wild Weasel. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, so then you have to go back to Hasegawa, which is not always a bad thing. Okay, guys, good night. I hope you have a really good weekend. Really enjoy yourself. And also, spasibo большое. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a couple of things that we'll need. That's good. I like this. This is cool when you get this sort of feedback. So I'll definitely be conversing with GB. He's probably going to give me some tips. But I'll go into the for Mike, and there's one video that I've got where I explain about references. So I've got quite good references, and we'll probably pick up, and then that will be the best thing to do. Do one video intro on the components, get feedback. Well, спасибо, Atiru. Удачи тоже. Yeah, right. Okay, GB's saying that they're going to bring out. I saw that they're going to bring out an F4E early, and if the F4G is announced, yeah, I'll wait for it and I'll buy one for sure. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for joining me, and we'll definitely do this again, and maybe even some live building, only if it's worthwhile though. So thanks a lot. Thanks for all the support on the channel, and see you guys soon.